Okay. My computer is like crapping the bed. So if I start, I don't know, pausing or like there's any kind of interference, just like type in the group chat or start waving your hands or something. Because I really need to get another computer. All right. So you guys asked me a lot of questions, and that's awesome. I'm gonna be super unorganized with this because I didn't. Well, first off, y'all can hear me, right? Yeah. Okay. Like, I just been talking. No one can hear me. It's fine. I'm just gonna skim through the questions really quick and see. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna just start with like the main reason why I planned this Zoom. And obviously, it's a leader Zoom. So if you're in here, you're a leader. I mean, technically you're a leader the second you start, but you have a team and it's growing, and I guess people, you have more, I guess you just feel like you have more pressure when you start building a team and you have all this stuff going on and you're like, I need to enroll, but I don't know how to do this, but I know how to chart, but I need to train people, but I don't even know what I'm doing. So I get that it can be overwhelming. And, you are going to be learning till the day that you die, like just because you know how to enroll LCs and DTs, like you're going to be asking questions forever. I still ask Cassie questions all the time, even though I am who I am or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So this whole adventure is a learning process. And when from the start, you have to be a trainable person. And to work to ambassador and black diamond, you have to be a trainable person too. So yeah. Basically, I mean, I guess like charting is what's going on right now. Like this is something that obviously is super important and can get confusing, but I promise with practice, it's just going to get easier from there. So personally, to start, I chart from top to bottom. So let's say you have an emerald chart, or a diamond chart, whatever. You always have your top lines or your qualified legs, for example. For ruby, you have 3 of them. So you have 3 like top lines. One's an executive and 2 are qualified legs. So why I chart top to bottom is because let's say I have 2 distributors under me, and one of them, someone needs to be an executive, and I don't really know who to make executive. Me personally, I would place my 3rd distributor that I enroll. I would keep it on my top line so that I can choose between those 3 people, like who deserves executive, and also I chart top to bottom because let's say someone's in the executive position because they rolled a distributor themselves, and there's an empty box there under that executive, and then there's an empty box on your top line. No one but you per se can place on that top line, but your executive and you can place, that empty qualified leg box under your executive. I don't know if that made sense. If I confused you, does that make sense? So I chart top to bottom. And also you want to chart balanced. So what that means is pretty much for every rank, you're going to have, I mean, you could be balanced and sometimes that just happens. But what I mean by that is mainly most of the time you have a heavier leg more than another. So for instance, let's talk diamond. For diamond, you need an emerald and a ruby and 3 qualified legs. So like your emerald is going to be your heavy leg most likely, because there's more people on an emerald chart, and usually who you're charting to emerald, who is your emerald leader, is you're the person that you're running with, the person who's giving their best effort. You know what I'm saying? So they're most likely enrolling more than the rest of the people on your chart. That's just most likely, but being balanced is super important, because let's say, it doesn't really matter what rank it is, but let's just do diamond again. When I'm building myself to diamond, I'm not going to just build one emerald and then I'm going to go to my other side and then build a ruby and qualified legs. I'm going to chart top to bottom. And this goes along for maintaining wise too. And I'm not going to go into detail with that right now. I can later if you guys want, but with maintaining a rank, you can maintain with boxes. So exactly how you promote with 400 boxes, getting everyone to 400, you can maintain that way, or you can maintain with volume. And with maintaining with volume, your heavy and weak side have to be semi-balanced. And again, I'm not going to go into detail right now, but I'm just giving you more reasons why it's important to be balanced when you're charting. Let's see. If you guys have questions, please comment. 1 second. Now, layered leadership. This is super important. Yeah, Lisa. You can okay, you got it. Oh wait, you muted yourself. What did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
I said I'll text you.
You can, unless you want it privately, but you can just ask right now if not. Okay. Okay, so for layered leadership, this is super important. What that means is, you're charting, you're pushing for ruby, you're pushing for emerald. For ruby, you have an executive leader, and for emerald, you have 2 ruby leaders, and who you put there are leaders. Like, that's why I keep saying leaders. So for like layered leadership, meaning you enroll a distributor, you give your executive that distributor, you give one of your rubies that distributor, you are their upline. You are their leader now. And that's very, very important. That is your girl, your guy, whoever, they're on your team, like you want to be like, give me her number, give me his number, like give me all the information right now. Like I want to become best friends with them, and that's, you're supposed to be taking over that leadership, not necessarily taking over, but you're a leader to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's very, 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 very important. Because, it's kind of common sense. You want to be close with your team, from experience, you want to be best friends with your team, and that's what's going to build a strong team. So when you're given a distributor, don't be afraid to step in and take over. Don't be afraid to ask who enrolled that distributor, if you can get in touch with her, or if you can help train her too, even though maybe you're not comfortable training people. Get in a group chat with the enroller, and the distributor that they put under you, and build a relationship. Elisa, I'll answer that question later. Remind me if I forget. So, okay, charting top to bottom, staying balanced, layered leadership. I think that's good for right now. Any questions? Cassie, if you have any comments, just like pop in. But you don't have to if you want.
No, I ask me questions, or someone can ask questions.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I obviously learned by you because I enrolled with you, but we all like kind of develop our own little things. But you chart top to bottom, right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly how you mentioned you're doing a diamond chart.
Mhm.
That's 5 legs total. So I would start with the first 5, and then I'd pick the best 2 for emerald and ruby, and then the same thing with the top lines. So that's how I do. I've always done it that way. Um, I think that's like the best way to do it. I know there's more than one way to do it, but I feel like that makes the most sense.
Yeah, me too. Because I rather have like you want to put 5 people on your top line so that you have 5 people to choose from who you're going to make your emerald and your ruby instead of like just a guessing game. And you know what? Sometimes it's going to be a guessing game. That's a whole other conversation. You know, I I mass enroll. Like that's my favorite thing in the world to do. But sometimes it bites me in the butt because I have to decide like who could be in a leadership position. And I know a lot of you mass enroll as well. So that's a common question all the time. Like, how do you decide like where to put these people? And that's the thing. Sometimes guys, you just have to say a prayer, like unfortunately there's no exact answer. These people are new. Man, I just do the best I can and I feel the vibe from that person. If they're pumped up, they're ready to kill it, like they want success, like, and they're just in it. You don't see them like nervous really. Then I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick that girl. She's going to place a distributor under her. She's going to be the ruby or she's going to be the emerald, and that's just how you have to do it. But regardless, your chart is never going to stay the same for each promotion that you promote anyways. That's just the name of the game. When I had different people when I promoted to ruby, emerald, diamond, double, and so on, and that's normal. So Lex, how do you guys typically decide where to place your new DTs? I guess, how do you know if you're making the right choice? So, I mean, that's basically what I explained. For me, this is what I do and what I've done, and I'm almost positive this is what Cassie does too, like I said. But I'm pushing for diamond. I'm going there, or we can use emerald because I know a lot of us are pushing for emerald. What I do is I fill up each box with a DT as soon as possible. I'm charting top to bottom. You're enrolling people quickly, so you just have to place people. Like I said, you just have to feel their vibe. You have to place people, and you got to say a prayer. And I'm like, this girl's gonna kill it. And after that, if I'm pushing for emerald for this month or next month, and let's say my boxes are full, then I start stacking people, or I try hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. So what that means is I start placing distributors under distributors, so that boosts up the GV, or I start stacking for emerald and charting for diamond. That can be confusing to a lot of people. Well, let me know if you have any questions about that. But I forgot what I was going to say just now. I was thinking of something else. So I get this question a lot when I say what I just said, and people are like, okay, so I'm going to go and just talk to all distributors. I'm going to just talk to everyone about becoming a distributor. And then they fall back on enrolling customers. So when I say, like, I'm pushing for emerald, for an example, and I'm just banging out like distributors on my chart, my emerald chart, I'm still consistently messaging for customers as well. You don't want to just focus a full month on distributors and not roll any customers. You want to try to find a balance, but if you want to fill up a chart really quick, obviously your main focus is going to be talking to people to become distributors. Lexia, I don't know if I answered your question. Like I said, there's really the name of the game is you want to put a name in each box, guys. That's it. Enroll and put a name, put someone in every box you want to fill that chart up. But again, it's natural to put someone in a leadership position, and then soon, or maybe later on, you realize that they're not supposed to be there. That is normal. That is natural. That still happens every day, like to me, to Cassie, everyone. But that's the name of the game. You just rebuild people or you stack. It's just, that's how it is. But focus on charting yourself. in enrolling. You know, I've had people who, I don't know, have like a lot of people under them, for example, and they are just like aimlessly trying to work and promote, but they come to me and they have no idea like what a Ruby or Emerald chart is. And guys, I can't emphasize, if you want to promote, if you want to make money, you have to have a chart out in front of you and you have to have it filled out. If you don't know how, you need to ask, because I'm telling you, if you're enrolling but you don't know how to chart or put a chart anywhere, it's just a waste of time. You know, if you want to promote, that's for sure. I mean, you're obviously getting paid still, you're getting commissions, but you obviously want to be smart about it, you know? How do you mass enroll distributors? Hold on, I'm not ignoring you. Okay, so you want to always have a chart out, guys. And I'm super blunt with it. I just said, if you don't have a chart out and you don't know how to chart, you're not going to, like, it's going to be very, very hard to promote. I'm going to answer that question, but not right now. How do you figure out where people are and what volumes are there? Tree Viewer, I think, is the easiest. You go to Tree Viewer, reports Tree Viewer, you hit like the box says view loyal customers, something like that on the left, and then your customers pop up in blue. Okay, so the distributors' names in black that are on the left-hand side that are there, all your girls or your guys, all the people on your top line. So when you see a chart and you see Diamond, for example, it has 5 legs, the people who are on Tree Viewer without you clicking any arrows or anything, those are the people on your top line. Those are your legs, okay? If you down arrow, those are the people under them. So the blue are your customers. You guys should know that by now. Now, when it comes to knowing volumes, it's very frustrating in the beginning of the month, but if you do it correctly at the end of every month, it won't be as frustrating. So what I mean by that is all auto shipments run through on the 25th. If someone ordered on the 28th of January, it's going to roll over on the 25th of February. Now, on the I'd say like 26th or 27th, or like 2 days before the month is over, I'm always updating my charts, but you want to make sure that you're going into Tree Viewer and hitting all your distributors' names, hit the volume tab that comes up on the right-hand side, and then see what their GV is, because that's going to be when it's most accurate. If you're doing it now, let's say you didn't do that at the end of last month, and you need to do that now, which you should have done already. You should have a chart updated on the first of each month. If you haven't done that already, you go in Tree Viewer and you need to click the down arrow of every distributor, and you need to manually add the volume that's going to run through. Because let's say all the customers that ordered on the 9th and on are not going to be added to the GV under volume that's in Tree Viewer. Does that make sense to everyone? Because it's usually the most confusing thing. So if that doesn't make sense, comment in the chat, please. Start flailing your arms. Start doing something crazy. Seriously. I know someone on here is probably confused and they're not asking. But take it with a grain of salt. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so like really try to print out your charts in color. It seems silly, but it's important and it will help you. The boxes in color in red and green only need to be commission qualified. So those are the people promoting with you. So on an Emerald chart, your Ruby is red and your executive is green. Those two, the Ruby and then the executive under them, only need to be commission qualified. So they need to have 150 PBV or running an 80 BV auto shipment. The boxes in gray that have 400 GV under them need to be at 400. If you think about it, all the people under the emerald are going to make, all the people under the ruby are going to make that ruby over 400 GV, to promote anyways. So the GV for your ruby and your executive promoting with you doesn't really matter. It just matters they have to be commission qualified for you to promote. I kind of talked about people on your chart who aren't working. I guess it all depends where you are, what promotion you're going for. I can give different advice if you're pushing for double or triple, and then I can give different advice if you're promoting to like emerald or diamond.
I can my situation. I was going double.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was going double diamond, Nayara was my diamond, and then I had this other girl as my emerald. She like hardly worked. Like she didn't do anything. So under the emerald, there was like a dead ruby, and then there was like one ruby that was working. So I could have easily like pushed it off because, it was not a very strong emerald, but I wanted to go double. So I was not going to, because I had like a bonus in the line, I wasn't going to let that stop me and like hold back. So I made up for like the volume that wasn't being pulled in by the people that weren't working. And I'd obviously just like mass enrolled customers. But what happened the next month is that the girl that was the ruby ended up going emerald the very next one. Then she did it all on her own. So she ended up quitting a couple months after that. But the whole point was that whole team like took off. I never even placed underneath them. And underneath that entire team was a 400 box. And that was Nicole Manzoli. And that's how she came about. And now she's a triple diamond. So like the whole point is like, it doesn't matter if you have to like use a specific person for a promotion. I think it just depends on the situation, depends on the promotion. But if you have someone not working but have someone underneath them, like you don't necessarily have to rebuild the whole chart and make sure every single person's working to promote. It's okay. That's kind of unrealistic. I've never had a promotion where every single person was working. That just isn't going to happen. If I had waited for that to happen, I wouldn't have promoted fast like I did in the beginning. So the whole point was like, I got to where I needed to be. And then after I worked with that one specific ruby, they went emerald, and then, trickled down all these amazing people. And then, a triple diamond leg came out of it. So, and without me even having to place there. So not saying that that's going to happen, for you that exact way. But the whole point is like, I don't like the word rebuilding. I think we're always building. And, you could have a ruby chart, an emerald chart, a diamond chart. It might feel like dead, but what if there's like one 400 box there? That's like one person that really, really wants this. Maybe they need more guidance. Like I didn't enroll Nicole, her enroller quit. So, someone reached out to her, then I reached out to her, and I just kind of gave her the leadership and help that she needed. And she ended up being like really, really amazing. So, if you see someone that's working and enrolling customers and you don't really know them, reach out to them, but don't hold back in a promotion either, because not everyone's working. I would just push to make it happen. I think it depends on the situation. So obviously like get together with your upline or Emily and explain your situation, because every situation is just so different. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to share that because I remember like when I was like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, my emerald doesn't work, but that's fine. Cause like the very next month it was like perfect. So I don't know if anybody can really.
Yeah. I feel like that is, it's common, but not saying you can't have every leg that's really strong. But if you do have a weak leg, it's okay, just make it work. Like Cassie was saying, obviously there's different situations. So if you think you're not really relating to this, or maybe you are, you're still like a little confused, then you can reach out and to your upline and or me, and we can go over that in more detail. Okay, so how to be a leader. That's like a generic question, right? And from my experience, my answer to how can you be a leader is to lead by example. So you guys have to realize that we aren't like managers, I guess. So that's where it can get confusing because what we do is different, you know. So the second you come in, it's a learning process. I mean, just like anything else, but we are a team, right? And the way that I'm going to be a leader to you guys is by enrolling and leading by example, because I know that when Cassie enrolls and I see her announcing distributors or I see her like posting about customers, like that inspires me to go out and enroll, you know? So it's a friendly competition, but that's exactly what I do, you know, and I want to inspire you guys to do the same thing. So that's what you guys just have to do too. And I mean, obviously you want to be there for your team as well, you know, but that's where situations can get a little tricky. For an example, you know, I'm there, you know, you may be saying, or you have said, I'm there for them. I text them every day. Like they ignore me. They say they want this, but they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're saying they're doing it, but I know they're not because they're not enrolling. They're not sending me screenshots. I mean, I can go on forever, but you know what, guys, that's normal, unfortunately, you know, this business is a numbers game and you're not gonna, I always relate it to like a deck of cards. Like you're gonna enroll a bunch of people who are ones, twos, threes, fours, and fives, even sixes. Like the majority of people you're going to roll are going to be, unfortunately, like ones to sixes. That's how this business works, you know, but you're going to enroll sevens, eights, nines. You're going to enroll them, but they're going to be a little less of them. There's going to be a smaller percentage. And then you're going to enroll people who are tens, jacks, and queens, and it's going to be a smaller percentage of them. But you're also going to enroll kings, queens, and I mean, I did that wrong, but you get it. The last three, and aces. And it's going to be a smaller amount, but that's how this business works. This business is a numbers game. So the more you enroll, the better odds you seem, like the more luck you seem to get of finding those like aces, kings, and queens, you know? So it's kind of like my funny joke of saying like the more you enroll, the more luck you have. But anyways, I'll just laugh at it by myself. It's not you, okay? If that's what you guys are wondering, you know, it's not your fault that people don't want this. You know, it's not your fault that people don't have the drive that you want. You are most likely going to be the hardest working person on your team when you were first starting and building a team. And that's how it was for me. I was so lonely, and I remember complaining to Cassie like, I am just so lonely, like I don't get it, like no one wants it like I do, like I got discouraged, you know. I was just praying and praying for people who want it as bad as I do. And I always got the same answer from Cassie. Keep enrolling, keep doing what you're doing, be consistent, your runners will come. And that's exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't hard physically, I guess. It was mentally hard for sure because I was frustrated and I was so lonely and I didn't understand. But there's a reason why, you know, not everyone is making $1 million. You know, if everyone was meant to be here and do this and everyone said yes, there would literally be no opportunity for any of us. You know what I'm saying? So eventually I turned my complaints and my worries into motivation to enroll more, to find those people who are going to be in my business and who are going to be here in this journey with me. And although I knew it wasn't going to happen overnight, you know, you have to just pray, or you just have to have faith and know that your hard work will pay off, guys. But you got to put in the work. Okay. Okay. So I guess going off of that, a lot of the questions was about like what to do with new distributors and like how to not overwhelm them. And guys, I mean, I've changed what I've done like a bunch of times, and it's funny because every time I promote, I start the next month and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Like I completely forgot like how to do all that I just did in the last couple months. And it's funny because you like get in that funk sometimes, but then after a few days or like 2 days or whatever, I'm like, Emily, you know what you have to do. You know that no matter what, if someone wants it, they'll make it happen. I can tell someone that I'm there for them 24/7. And that's what I tell everyone. Literally, I tell everyone, I am here for you 24/7. I can teach you everything that it takes to get to presidential, but they some of them may not come to me, even though I say I'm literally there for you 24/7. It happens. But I mean, I feel like, I don't know, when enrolling a distributor, I announce them in the group chat, and then I just start them off with basics. I say, listen, you need your 4 loyal customers as soon as possible. You're going to get your $100 shopping spree. 2 customers is going to qualify you for unlimited $100 fast start bonuses. 4 is going to qualify you for all future bonuses, so that Emerald bonus, and you're going to get your shopping spree. That's it. I tell them the 3 things that 2 and 4 customers is going to get them, and then I start them off with messaging. Like I just start them slowly into messaging. I don't necessarily throw all this stuff at them. If they start asking me questions, if they're in, I have like a few people who are like, all right, what's this GV, PV, whatever. I have a little script in my notes explaining what that stuff is, and I copy and paste it and send it to them when they ask me, I once they enroll their first 2 customers, then I really drill into them about, what a team is and posting and enrolling distributors, because you best believe those $100 fast starts are like the best thing in the world. I want them to know about that the second that they join. They're like amazing. They're my favorite thing ever. So that's really it, guys. I feel like, there's really no science into properly training distributors. I mean, I hear this all the time. Especially from Cassie, because, Cassie didn't have what we have. Cassie didn't have, what she get. Am I frozen? Did I freeze? Okay. I think I'm back now. Like the notes that like the PLC and the PDT notes that I send to you guys, or like I send to my new distributors, like we give you so much. You know what I'm saying? Cassie, what do you usually say? I'm like having a brain fart about that.
What you were trying to say before was, so yeah, when I joined, I was added into a team page. I had like an upline to ask questions to, but I didn't really have someone that was giving me scripts and doing Zooms with me and telling me what to do every single day. I didn't really have like what you guys have now, which is like so awesome. So it just goes to show like anyone can do this. It really doesn't matter. Like I just basically used YouTube and then like Jade Hooper's page, but that had like 1 million people in it. I didn't really have like someone one-on-one with me every single day. I remember Nay joined like 3 days after I joined. So we kind of just figured it out together and did it together. And I feel like that helped so much. Just having another person there with me, learning with me and doing it with me. And it really, really helped. And I think just like we started this whole like friendship thing. And then I met Emily and Nicole and all these other girls, and they're also amazing. But I just think like developing relationships with your leaders is so, so important, because if you have like a really strong friendship there and relationship, they're not going to just leave. You know what I mean? Like you have a bond other than business. If something goes wrong, they're not going to just up and quit. So, yeah, you guys have so many tools now. You have so many like resources. So make sure you take advantage of it. Honestly, just doing what works best for you. We all do things a little bit differently, but yeah. That's basically it.
And also when you guys like get down or frustrated because you know what I was talking about before, sometimes you enroll a distributor and they're like not coming to you or whatever, and then maybe you like a week, 2 or later, they're like, why am I not seeing results? You're like, girl, I told you I was here 24/7 for you. Where were you? Like, you either want it or you don't, guys. That's it. Like, if someone joined on the main It Works website and didn't even join under anyone, do you know how many YouTube videos there are? Like, there's so many outlets. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot get down about stuff like that. You have to let it motivate you to go out and find, obviously work with that person. Don't give up on them, you know, and be like, bye automatically, even though some people are different. I give people 3-strike rule, but let that motivate you to go out and find, you know, the people who want this. There are literally people crying themselves to sleep in bed every night, like praying for an opportunity like this. Okay. Ooh, I'm starving. Wait, help with new DTs that all right, so for everyone who asked like about training new distributors, I know I was kind of like, I didn't go into too much detail. So if you guys have any specifics about certain parts of training or like enrollments, I mean, ask in the group, because like I said, I didn't really go into too much detail. Okay, so, you know, same thing goes with staying motivated, or, you know, you personally staying motivated as a distributor. Like if, and like keeping your distributors motivated as well. So, I mean, you guys have to, for who is asking or wondering the question, like, how do you keep your distributors motivated? And then I read like another comment about how do I stay motivated every day? You know, think about when you started, even though everyone's different, you know, I don't care who you are, you have off days. Like, we're humans. As long as you are a human, you are going to have off days. So you can't get frustrated at the newer distributors you enroll who have off days, who, you know, aren't excited 24/7. And my best advice is talk about dreams and goals with your new distributors when the first like couple weeks, even when you enroll them. Obviously train them and do what you normally do, but for me, what I do is I really drill into them about what this opportunity can give them, you know, what their dreams are, what their goals are every day, and become closer to them, just like Cassie was explaining before. And that's really all I do. You know, I can drill self-development into people and I can say self-develop, but if they don't know why they're self-developing, then it's not going to click. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I talk to them about their dreams and goals. I'll send the distributor the income chart and I'll be like, what is life changing for you? Because I'm going to show you exactly how to get there. And I asked them why, like, why do you have debt or whatever? And, you know, I was talking to someone tonight and she said she has so much school debt and she like can't even breathe because it kills her. And I'm like, listen, print out your debt amount and stick it like in 7 places on your wall. Cause you're going to look at that every day and you're going to start to let that motivate you to work, you know, stuff like that. Self-development is huge, guys. I mean, someone asked a specific, Sam, you asked, other than the You Are the Badass 2 books, what do you recommend for self-development, or what do you guys do? So in my VIP Elite group, you all should be in it. If you're not, ask your upline. If you click pinned posts at the top, it brings you to our self-development thread. And there's like a crap ton of videos, audiobooks, I mean, tons of stuff that we've all posted. The Power of Focus. Wow, I don't know if I've actually heard of that one. But yeah, go to pin posts on the VIP Elite group, and there's like so many things there. And then there was another question about that. I mean, that is like what my lifesaver was. Everyone is different. Like I've been saying this whole Zoom, if you're someone who doesn't have that natural drive, don't think that like you're not good at this, or don't think you have a problem or an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like that is normal. And even people that you may see all the time who are super excited and have a natural drive, like Carrie Bauer, Carrie Young, for example, if you guys know what I'm talking about, she's like, her fire is insane. Like every time I talk to her, she's like, oh my God, I'm like, how does this girl, how is she like this? Like, it's so crazy. She's so inspiring. But I know for a fact that she is normal. I know she has bad days. You know, I know she has off days. So you guys have to recognize that and understand that. But for me, you know, I suffered and still suffer with anxiety. So I started early on the curiosity of learning how to control that. You know, I came to a decision that I have something that's holding me back, but I don't want it to hold me back anymore. So I started going to YouTube and watching YouTube videos like Tony Robbins and just so many other people, how to control anxiety. Literally, guys, I went to YouTube and I Googled how to be happier. Like so like silly, but that's what self-development is. You know, self-development is just so many different things. And to be successful in anything in life, you have to be growing your mind, you know, no matter what it is about. But for me personally, I had a really hard time with my mindset in the beginning of this business. Cassie can tell you forever how much I drove her insane. So you know what I started doing? I woke up, was listening to YouTube videos. I was getting ready, listening to audiobooks. I was showering, I was listening. I was cooking food, I was listening. I was driving, I was listening. I was in between classes, I was listening. I did not listen to music for a long time until I had a mindset that, you know, I didn't need to have someone telling me things 24/7, even though I still self-develop to this day. I found a way to make it happen because regardless of this, I got an error. Click reopen to all right. I'm still here, I guess. Because regardless of this business or not, I wasn't going to allow my anxiety and my depression control my life. And that has been my like mindset for a while, even before this business. So that's something that I pass on to everyone, regardless of, again, this business or not. Like you need to do something about it, you know, and there's ways to make it better and there's ways to do anything, you know, regardless of this business, you know, keep saying that. Okay. I think I went over, I can finish this off with specifics with enrolling distributors, but if I skip something or you guys want me to go into more detail about something else, just type in the group chat. But someone asked, I don't know, I love enrolling distributors. Like I love it so much. It's like my favorite thing. Honestly, I love it so much more than enrolling customers, even though I love like one of the greatest feelings is getting that text of like a customer that had really good results and they're so happy. I mean, that's like the best feeling in the world. But to me, like changing someone's life, like with not only the products but the business is just like my favorite thing ever. Like I get the biggest high from it, guys. Like I love it so much. So for me, like, and I love a challenge. So when I enroll distributors, you know, someone asked this question too about their excuses. My goal the second I start talking to them is to figure out what is going to stop them, like what their fears are, you know, about joining, because There doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what language you speak. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you came out of jail yesterday. Like, you could be so successful in this business, and you guys will not understand that until you are involved more, until you get to conference, until you watch recorded Zooms from triples, doubles, presidentials and ambassadors. You need to understand that. And that's also, it's like being a product of a product. It's going to get you more excited. It's going to let you understand more. And that's how I started understanding. I started seeing Cassie, she was a double when I enrolled with her. She promoted to triple really quick right after I enrolled with her. And I saw her do that through school, through other jobs, and then conferences, Zooms, that are posted. This one girl, I forgot her name, but she was a heroin addict, you know what I'm saying? And now she's a triple diamond in the company. There's people who have promoted in a hospital bed, so for me, when someone complains about money, I'm like, girl, you do not have to struggle. And that's exactly just where I come in, and I, say, have you ever thought about doing what I do? And I just basically ask them questions. Like, you always want to finish with a question. And that's basically how I break down, like, I don't know, like, their excuses. And I purposely ask them things. So, my main questions are, Maria, everyone, how much would an extra 500 plus a month would help you? And that's like my key question, because usually, most likely, everyone is like, oh my God, that'd be like a game changer for me. So then I literally say every single time, then what is stopping you? Like, what is holding you back? And for me, my convos with PDTs, they're pretty much always kind of the same, even though people say that they may be always different. It's, I tell them about the business, and then I break down what their questions are. And if they don't have any questions for me, then I ask them a question, So for example, let's say I send them what we do, and they're like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And you're like, okay, what's going on now? I'll send the income chart, and I'll say, like, where would you want to be? What would be life-changing for you? And that's a whole other conversation you can go off of. Maybe they'll talk about them having debt or whatever. And then whatever rank they choose, I say, then come with me. Like, you could do that. Let's run together. And you don't have to be at presidential or ambassador or triple or double or even diamond to say that. You can be a distributor who started yesterday. You say, run with me, come with me. I'm getting a $5,000 bonus. Like, I will help you get it too. Like, how much would a $5,000 bonus help you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to be positive. You have to show, like, have energy. And that's just what's really important, and persistency. People stop answering me all the time, but I am constantly following up with them. And something that's huge is getting on the phone with them. I know Cassie's been doing that a lot, and I started doing that a few months ago too. And now I'm even utilizing voice messages more. I'll record what we do, like that script, and a voice message, and I'll save it, and I'll literally copy and paste that to people now, because just like, I don't know, just hearing your voice at the second that they talk to you instead of text, like, immediately a different vibe. It's just natural, so you can even do that for certain things. I mean, obviously, if you're out in public with people, you can't voice message sometimes, but that's why I said, like, I pre-record what we do, and I copy and paste that through the voice memo app to people. So even if you are out, you can just copy and paste. But other than that, like, voice memos are key when you notice someone is, like, scared or fearful or, coming up with excuses. Just hearing your voice and being kind of like condoling but blunt at the same time it's super important. If you send a text message, it can come off a different way to people sometimes, and I've learned that the hard way. Today I had someone say no to me, and after me sending her voice messages, she completely changed her mind and signing up Friday. Boom, exactly. Voice messages are huge, guys, like huge. If you're not comfortable with getting on the phone with people, start with voice messages. I started getting on the phone with people and I started doubling my distributor enrollment. So the leap of your comfort zone is really worth it. Okay. I mean, as far as mass enrolling distributors, it's the same thing with customers. You know, this business is a numbers game. It's just you reaching out to more people. So what I've been doing is, if you're someone who's been in for a couple of months, you know, and you have all these PLC potentials you've been following up with forever and they're not answering, like, this is like my key thing, what I do, and what's been getting me to literally enroll 31 customers in January. Distributors in January. This is exactly what I did, guys. I went through my potentials and the people I've been following up with forever, right? And I messaged them and I said, hey girl, random question, because they weren't answering you before. So if you send another generic follow-up, they're probably not going to answer you again. Maybe they will, you know, but then they're going to answer. They're going to say, what's up? You know, people love curiosity. They want to know what's going on. And I'm so simple and to the point. I say, super random, but have you ever thought about doing what I do? And if not, or would another income help? Literally, that's it, guys. That is it. And all those PLCs that were potentials who weren't answering me are becoming distributors now, because they either have no idea that this is an option to make money, or maybe they know it is, but again, they may think they don't have time, or, you know, some kind of excuse or whatever. You're cold messaging a potential. You know what I'm saying? So you're hitting two birds with one stone again. I mean, guys, you guys know you have to be posting multiple times a day. If you're not enrolling and you're not posting 2-3 times a day, I mean, I don't really know what to say. Like, you guys on here, you're leaders, you know what you're supposed to be doing. So be messaging 10 an hour, adding 100 an hour, and posting 2-3 times a day. I post life posts. I post good ones. I post, you know, I'm not afraid to express my feelings on my posts. I'm not afraid to be real, because that's what people want. My posts are good now, but they sucked before. Like, they were so bad, like the quality and all of that. But I still mass enroll distributors when my pictures weren't really that good. But now you guys, you have, you know, all of us to learn from. You know, I remember, I think it was Ashleen. I don't know if she's on here, but at conference, we were sitting in our hotel room chilling, and I literally I edited a picture for her. I think it was just like a picture of her food, you know, and literally her face was so funny. She was mind blown by like 2 steps that I used from like 2 different apps that brightened this photo and just made it like so different, but like not. Like, it was like slight difference that made a huge, like, or a slight edit that made a huge change. So, you know, brightness of photos is like the best thing. That's what you got to do. Lighting is everything. Take pictures outside. If you're someone who's complaining to me that you don't get dressed up or ready every day, this is old hair and old makeup from like the last 2 days, guys. Like, I never get dressed up and ready. I work from home. I am not getting dressed up. I'm not even like, I'm brushing my teeth at like 11 noon. Like, all right, that's kind of gross sometimes. Sorry, but you know what I do when I run out of photos? I get up, I get in the shower, and I get ready, and I change my shirt multiple times, and I take multiple selfies with different poses. And then, boom, I have pictures for the next like week and a half or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You just got to do it. You got to get it done. And that's a huge reason that's going to get you distributors. You have to be posting. You have to be life posting, guys. If you don't know how to life post, take my life posts, copy them, put it in your notes, and then edit them to your life. You don't have to be making 6 figures a year to get distributors. People who need money or people who want to do this business, the odds of them, like me saying I make like 5 figures a month is most likely not going to be the main, like why they're coming at me. You know what I'm saying? Or why they're coming to me. It's not how it works. You know, their $200, $300 a month is what's life changing to them. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to be highly successful to have your post be attracted by potentials. We all start from the bottom. So talk about where you're gonna be. Talk about, say, I'm gonna get this Emerald $5,000 bonus. Who's coming with me? Like, who are you coming with me or you not? Say that in your post. Talk about, be open, talk about everything. You know, like I said, you can, that's how I learned. You know, I learned from Cassie's posts. I learned from just other successful people in this business. And sooner rather than later, it's just going to become a habit, you know, and you're going to get it. It's going to click. Any questions, guys? Jabbing on. All right. Well, I know a lot of you are pushing for Emerald and this Emerald bonus, and I can tell you right now, I was supposed to post it in Diamond Boss Babes and the other group, but I didn't. But there's like this Lifers page, It Works page, and I forgot who asked the question, but they basically asked just like their journey to Emerald. And there was hundreds of comments, guys, literally hundreds of comments of people getting Emerald in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, like a week, like hundreds of people promoting to Emerald in less than 2 months or within 2 months, which is what you guys are getting. Well, not all of you guys. Well, technically, yeah, because if you joined before January 1st, you had way over 2 months to get the Emerald bonus. So know that this is not only highly capable, like for all of you guys, but $5,000 for Emerald? The highest they ever went for a bonus was $2,000, I think, right, Cassie? I'm not sure. But literally, I think that was it. They doubled the bonus. It was normally 1,000, and then like 2016, they doubled it, and then to 2,000, and then we didn't even have an Emerald bonus last year. So $5,000, guys, like what the heck? Like what? That's crazy. Brittany, yeah, I thought $1,000 was a lot. Exactly, and you're making an average of like $7, $8, $9, $1,000 a month as an Emerald, as it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it going to take? Like, what are you guys going to do to make that happen? Because like, it's life changing. I just was doing this a live in the VIP Elite before this, and I ended with the quote, you know, if you want something you never had, you got to be willing to do things you've never done, guys. You know, if you want what others don't have, you have to do things others won't do. You know what I'm saying? Sacrifice, guys. And I was going double, man. I was sacrificing showering. But you know what? $6,000 a month. That's insane. What? That's crazy. Okay. All right, guys. Y'all don't have questions? I'm going to end it. Thanks for getting on. Hope you guys have a good night. Bye.